Welcome to Graeme Games. My name is Graeme. This is a game, and today I'm playing Once Upon a Dungeon Infinity. This developer actually has Once Upon a Dungeon 1 that they made years ago, and then 2 that is still in early access, which confused me, and so I figured it might confuse other people. Once Upon a Dungeon 2 is closer to an RPG. I believe there's like voice acting and stuff. This is a cheaper, smaller, coffee break kind of experience of a traditional roguelike. And so this seemed more up my alley, and I thought this would be a good one to try. It just came out earlier in the week here, and I'm quite charmed by the simplicity of the very clearly like homemade, I did it all myself graphics. Like, I know they look rough, but at least it speaks to like this developer is dedicated to doing it themselves, you know? I'm gonna make myself here up. I don't know. I guess I'll just trigger permadeath because I don't entirely know what to expect. Default, I'll go gray, because maybe that's just the UI. Auto equip better gear. Yeah, I like that. And show hints. Yeah, I haven't played the other games in this series, so I'm going in quite blind. I'm guessing the knight is like the standard, but if people want to kind of get a sense of what differs, they all have different abilities, different weapons. And similar to something like Diablo, you get to immediately assign some things. So I'm going to go a couple more in strength, health, and defense. And then, I get to put points into the skills too. So sword mastery, bonus when using sword weapon, and elemental vengeance adds elemental, fire, poison, or cold damage to melee attacks. Well, I'll add one to each. That seems like a nice, well-rounded way to start things off. You can purposefully not assign things and then choose to do that after. Unlike staffs, wands, and scepters, books and scrolls are powered by mana. So, this is going to be very tutorial heavy, I imagine, up top. And I don't play a ton of traditional roguelikes, so like, I'm going to be kind of just learning a lot of things as I go. Magic dust, part of a crafting recipe. G to collect things. Z Mowit. Do we get to talk? Okay, it didn't look like he was a bad guy. Let's trade. Oh, cool. You got like full equipment slots. Throwing knife. Where's my gold? There it is. I got nothing. I didn't expect to have anything right away. That also just like crafting supplies. Edible sour plant, a sorrel. For healing. You can attack the stump, but it's not good for anything. Lionel. Got a bull. I don't really want to beat on anyone's bull. Camp portal. Well, we got nowhere to portal to just yet. Lionel, what's up, my man? Sell me a hound. Okay, I don't got the money for that. Huge amount of items in this game. Very apparent right off the bat. And everything's quite expensive. I didn't expect to be able to buy stuff right off the bat. All right, I don't want to step into a trap. It looks like I get to just kind of wander out any old direction I want. Is the shrine anything? Not really. Did I not collect that automatically? Plain arrow. Oh, and a bow. And I'm guessing I is inventory. Yep. So the bow is separate. So it's not like I can have the bow unless you have the toggleable weapon slots. Oh, yeah. Game sets the cursor dynamically depending on content. It can be reset using the right mouse button. And do I need to equip the arrow to the other side there? That might it might use it out of my inventory. I don't, X to swap. I assumed there would be a hotkey. Pile of skulls. I found a fireball staff. Well, I can, presumably I can at least like sell that stuff if I don't choose to keep it. I'm not meaning to attack those. See, you grab up stuff from kind of all over. Small hunter enchanter. Ancient enchanter. Is that not a shield? It is not. Item is not enchantable. Oh, well, okay then. 2 to 4. 2 to 4. Well, I'll just stick with what I got then, I think. Just the kind of jank of how that's drawn. I'm into it. I like it. Another way to heal. I keep accidentally attacking that stuff. Hit nearby enemies with a random magic spell. Removes poison. Well, I'm finding a lot of stuff other than enemies. Weighted net. Oh, that potion was grabbable as well. Oh, all sorts of this stuff is like grabbable. I guess it's pretty clear which things are like trees. Well, I guess I was being too cautious. There's not that much stuff very often to worry about. Lots of things to heal with. Are those skulls just floating around? They kind of are. They like kept going too. Ah, cap. Nice. I'm happy that it shows up on the character. I'm just always a fan of that. Well, I'm gonna be so stocked and loaded full of ways to like heal and stuff. I wish I could inspect these things before I pick them up. Another way to enchant equipment. Well, I went to go inspect what that was, and I feel like I clicked away from something that was intending to describe it to me. Whoops. None of that is of concern. Sooner or later, I gotta fight things, right? I feel like I'm really getting away with it here. I don't know if I was meant to grab all that. Or like I'm sure I was able to, but or meant to or whatever, but like it feels like I have a lot of stuff right away. Much more than I need when not fighting anything. I feel like I'm just gonna sell you all the crap that I don't feel like I want. Press left control and right mouse button to sell things. Oh, I see why it's bulk selling. Well, then I guess... I just feel like I can't really make use of so much of this right now, so I might as well just sell it off. Ragged armor, he doesn't really have any better than that, does he? I guess I could buy a terrible shield. Let's buy a terrible shield. Not identified. Oh, identify scroll. Very Diablo in that regard. Oh, so that's what I picked up, was a recipe. That I didn't even really get to see it. It kind of happened so quickly. I don't think that guy sells identification scrolls. How about you, Lionel? Is that your job? You got it. He's pooping. I need you, man. Come back here. I don't know where to buy identification scrolls. Oh, there's a dungeon marked on the map there. Well, I kind of thought the whole area was gonna be a dungeon, in at least some regard. Transform scroll turns hero into a bat, invisible for monsters. Where? Oh, there it is. There it is. Holy cow! It took me a bit to find that. Wait, but now I just left again, didn't I? Oh, okay, now I'm seeing enemies. Well, I feel bad about that. Did I leave? Did I accidentally like click and leave? Because I did intend to go into the dungeon. I must have immediately walked my way back out again. Okay, now I gotta actually start contesting with hostile enemies here. To activate a projectile item in the hotbar. And it's always that button? It's always 3? Oh, yeah. The wealth of items that get handed to you in this game are such that I feel like I'll never be able to make full use of everything. Okay, hella rats. Yeah, a bit of a mistake on how I managed some of that just now. I kind of let it get a little bit more hits on me than I intended. So I had that thing that was like auto-equip items that are better than what I already have. So I kind of just assuming that's happening, although I still haven't really identified anything. Oh, nice. I got my first ring. Extra melee attack damage. I'm into that. That's nice and easy. Lots of scrolls. Hooch. Caution, oil's flammable. That's cool. That's cool that that's like, that sort of stuff comes into play. Mana shield book. So presumably I would be able to learn that. But I don't think I have the magic needed to learn it. Hound cap and ring of attack. The hound cap is not better than what I have, unless it's a hat meant for a hound. That might be what that's about. It seems like this game would it would be more accessible to people who already know the base game. It almost feels like maybe this could have been added as a mode to that game. I've discovered that on each level of the dungeon, there's a hidden room with some serious loot. Looks like I'll be able to catch some. On each level. That's not where I just was, right? Oh, no, there's plenty more exploring. Oh, yeah, the extra damage from my rings has been felt right away. That's apparent. Toggle God on and off. Passive abilities are used by the hero automatically each turn. Healing seems good. Strike back seems good. And bulk attack. Chance to bulk attack. Ooh, loot mastery. There's tons of stuff there. Seems pretty cool. Oh, end turn. That makes sense if you just want to stay where you are. Let's do some extra damage. Oh, but my magic sucks. I don't even know if I'm going to worry about that at all. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm just picking some quick things. Lots of ways into this. There we go. Not identified. Well, I could really use some of those identify scrolls. Never mind. Did I keep missing? He was parrying? What was going on there? Oh, it's traps. Didn't know what that was either. Hey, nice. I feel like my bulk attack worked as I planned there. Crafting recipe things. I do feel like this is quite unwieldy. You can search, I guess, and equipment, spells. Okay, the fact that all of that is there for filters is actually really, really nice. That makes all that much simpler. Yeah, give me some new gear. I think that was a hound cap again. If I ever get a dog, he'll be decked out. So if I go look at my equipment, +2, that's the same. That's the same. That's still not identified. I don't know where those scrolls are at, man. Nothing there's looking like a scroll to me. Upgrade gems recipe. The complexity of stuff that I'm discovering relative to how much I know about the game is pretty out of whack. do it, man. Blast those damn rats. Don't let them tell you what's what. Well, I'm having a real hard time killing those rats right now. Oh, he was a champion. Okay, I went into that very recklessly with very little understanding of what I was actually fighting against. So that stuff all applies for multiple turns. So you can use it once and then like walk around. I didn't need to. Yeah, I was kind of using it a little wastefully there. Okay, being able to scroll in and out, that's pretty nice. Heal more. Bulk attack seemed really good. Better shielding. Just things to help me stay alive. And tons in the strength. Boost up the strength. I didn't find the secret room or whatever, but let's race our way down. Ooh, a mini chest. Mini chest that was quite loaded. How do I know if a door is locked? It doesn't seem like there's a great way. Oh good, I could eventually bash my way past that. Oh, many bats. Many bats. They are bats. Are these champions? Or are they just because I'm on the second floor of the dungeon? Eee. Wait. Tried. Adventure note. No, I just want, like, literally things that can heal me. I think I better immediately eat another shank. I think as long as I'm wolfing those down and kind of keep those on a cycle, I can more or less keep myself alive. Things like oil and fire, you know, it's too early for me to use that with any sort of effectiveness, but that is cool. Edible loot can be consumed using a digit. It is assigned to on the hotbar. Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like everything can be used using a hotkey. I feel ya. Amulet, plain, and enchantable. So where are my enchanters doodads? I didn't sell them all, did I? I kind of know that I didn't. On jewelry, adds mana, add dexterity. I'm going to add dexterity to that one. Nice. Oh, the cap. Projectile attack, chance to evade. Let's do that. Same thing, armor, chance to evade. And the tunic, well, I'm not using projectiles, so that one I'm not going to get anything out of, but trying to engage with different things this has. I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit. This is not the first thing I've played today. Oh, that's just a throwing torch. I don't know how often I would resort to throwing a torch, but ooh. I wish it in some way indicated to me that the item I found was better than the one I had, so that I, you know, when I pick up those gloves, then I could kind of just know that in the moment. Maybe it did in some way. The next time I find equipment on the ground, there's something else I kind of want to test. So, I would love a hotkey to compare to what I'm currently wearing. That feels, I'm quite limited in that regard here. Melee attack plus 6, that one's better for sure. Get on there, man. You're way better. Add dexterity to it. Hell yeah, that rings what it's all about. It's a great ring. A good ARPG, which is like, this is kind of splitting a difference between like traditional roguelike and ARPG. Or maybe not splitting the difference. Maybe I just, you know, like I said, I just don't know traditional ARPGs that well. But this is like an insane amount of loot. The amount of loot that I'm getting handed is like more than I can really handle. And a lot of it is like excessive. Like I just don't need that many separate ways of like healing and everything. Is it also a crafting thing? So the mushroom is, the plum isn't. Okay, so maybe that's a little bit of a limit then. Although then there's also the apple, and the apple also isn't a crafting thing. And then yeah, that's just kind of the impression that I'm getting, is that like, do I need several different fruits that heal me the exact same amount, but you know, can't contribute to a crafting recipe or anything? Because it's just like there's just that many more unique things now I have to keep track of and juggle in my inventory. I'm getting wailed on by these bats, and I must be missing so often, and there's just like not much on the screen that's explaining that to me, because like I was attacking a lot there, and it went from like killing them in 2 shots to like miss, and it was really getting away from me. Maybe they're debuffing me in a way that's making me miss, but I was not tracking that very well, not following along. Currently, I don't feel very like confident with the game, and so I might just kind of play a little bit recklessly, try and show off a little bit more of the game. It's been the series has been very positively rated by fans of the game, and the depth you may need to go into to understand the game might be beyond what I'm willing to put in a little bit. Because like, oh my god, is it ever throwing a lot at me? And I'm kind of just like, well, I'm just gonna do things. I won't try and die, but I also might play a little recklessly. I have so much animal meat. I'll just keep chugging that down. This guy's eating like 3 ham shanks a minute. I was barely winning that little exchange of like trying to heal and eat at the same time. That was a lot. Looks like the key to the boss room is hidden in one of the chests in the barrels. I was gonna loot them all anyway. Boss room, you say? Is that the key I found? It just says opens a door. It's not very specific. Alright, I totally found better armor. Oh, my dexterity's not good enough. Magic isn't good enough for that one. So all that, yeah, okay. Maybe those aren't good enough to auto-replace. Still have a lot of stuff that I haven't identified properly, but I don't think I've found any scrolls to do so. A little bit more sword mastery, why not? Better shield, strike back. Oh, I didn't do this last time, so let's just spread a little bit more of that around. Get that extra dexterity. And then that should let me equip the better armor. Defense 10, defense 2. That'll make a big difference, I think, I hope. On armor, projectiles, chance to evade elemental projectiles. Sure, we'll just throw that on there. Now I'm a tough unit. No one's gonna want to fight me. Unless they come to realize what an insane pushover I am and how quickly they could kill and loot me. I won't be the one to tell them. Possibly a better amulet? Magic +5. Not anything that's leaning into what I got going on here. You don't need magic to bash rats or bats, wingless or not. The pick up everything around you button just seems to like randomly decide how much stuff it feels like picking up. I don't entirely understand that. Now, is that the boss room? And is this just like the secret room that's full of loot? Maybe that's all it is? I guess I kind of just want to know, did that use my key? It did. I think that was locked. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to walk in there. I kind of liked having the doorway to protect me. The druid. I think he's casting things to benefit his allies. Having to wait for his projectile to crawl its way around the map is a little bit of a pain. I get why it's like that. Super chest. A bunch of unidentified stuff and still no real way to identify anything. So that's... The game should probably start you with like a couple scrolls, maybe of identify and like town portal, and then, you know, it's on you to find the rest. See, once you start getting wailed on, obviously it's turn-based, so I could have just like, but I was kind of cornered at the same time there. The game clearly has a ton of depth and a ton of items and a ton of content, and I'm only on like I'm on dungeon 1. I assumed I was on dungeon 2 because I went down a floor. So like kind of a lot going on there. Probably could benefit from a bit more of a tutorial. Some of the UI is a little overwhelming as well. But that's just a little bit like, I get what they're going for with all of that. I'm just gonna boot in just to kind of survey things a little bit. In my mind here, I'm kind of speaking to the developer. If there's some degree of feedback I could be giving. That's cool to be able to... There's no need to have two buttons there. Just make it the same button. That means in and out. That's all nice to have. The way that it's like overlapping, that is a little bit odd feeling, but it's an extensive, big, long inventories. That's nice. I feel like these didn't work how I thought they would. I would add numerous other ways of refining, like narrowing down what you're trying to select, and then like toggle them on and off rather than select them. I don't know, because it selecting them worked how I thought it would, but then, oh yeah, then you can turn it off again. So I don't know. Anything I put out there would be both nitpicky and coming from the perspective of someone who just doesn't know the game that well. But not being able to identify anything ever was kind of becoming a point of frustration, and I couldn't figure out how to get better at that. I don't really understand why there's a bunch of loot I can steal right from camp here. It feels like I shouldn't be stealing these people's stuff, but maybe it's fine. Obviously I just got a little bit confused trying to find the initial... I can go to the bathroom too, apparently. Find the initial dungeon. I don't know how to pull up the map. Map is tab. I can't really like move around the map or anything. Maybe that's fine. Quests hadn't really come up. Allies hadn't come up. Crafting. I guess probably some of that had come up. This is advertised as this like coffee break game, but it was like so immediately complex, and even me just screwing around and like going through things recklessly was still like half an hour, right? So like that's not really the coffee break experience. I kind of expect an entire run to take 20 to 30 minutes. Overall, I'm kind of just a little bit surprised that this wasn't made as an alternate mode to boost and lift up the sequel rather than being an independent standalone thing, but I could be missing out because I don't know the series overly well. Yeah, I like the homemade nature of it. I like how familiar things are with just games I grew up playing, but it's a bit much for me as someone who doesn't know the traditional roguelike genre super well. I guess that's nice you can do that, but I kind of like need to be able to see that stuff. Mostly I think it was just like, it was like too much items, and then others too general. Food versus potions versus crafting materials, and if it checks off multiple boxes, then sure, have it appear under multiple of them. But other was just like, anytime I checked that, it was like, okay, here's 1,000 items, and it was like, I don't know what to do with any of that. So I don't know, I don't have very pointed feedback on this one, but it was fun to check out at least. It's available now. It's like $5. It's very cheap. It's a very easy entry point game. If this is your jam, then I think you're going to get a ton out of this because there's clearly so much to it. And it's early access. The dev is planning to put a lot of work into it. Supported the first game for a long time, so like expect your feedback to be heard. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon.